thank you so much for joining me, Natalie. First, let's have you introduce yourself.
Sure, absolutely. My name is Natalie Neubauer. I'm the Director of Clinical Education and Assistant Professor in the Department of Speech Language Pathology at Seton Hall University. I'm responsible for setting up the clinical coursework as well as the experiential skills training to prepare the students to work with the autism population as well as other pediatric and adult populations. My specialty areas are early language, pediatric feeding, and the autism population.
So Natalie, tell me a little bit about how you got involved in the Phoenix Center.
Sure, absolutely. Well, I'm very passionate about the autism population due to the incredible gains I've seen in these children with strong school supports, behavioral training, community resources, and most importantly, parent involvement and interprofessional collaboration. When you have the highest quality, evidence-based collaborative approach, which the Phoenix Center employs, there's no limits to what these children on the autism spectrum can achieve. It's very, very important to have an interprofessional collaborative approach, which the Phoenix Center has for children on the spectrum, because many of them have global delays. So individuals on the team that are often important include the special educator, the behaviorist, the speech language pathologist, the occupational therapist, the physical therapist, the neurodevelopmentalist, the school counselor, and of course at the helm, the parent. And the Phoenix Center does a great job of having an interdisciplinary team that really looks at each child from a holistic perspective and focuses on their overall growth and achievement using a variety of strategies where they're working on common goals. So that's extremely important. I got involved with the Phoenix Center also because of their integrative philosophy, their innovative programming, as well as their integrative nature and their inclusive nature. And they've made a profound difference on the children and adolescents that they serve.
So Natalie, tell me, what is your role within the organization?
Absolutely. I was fortunate to be able to join their board of directors and support their mission. And it allows me the opportunity to help develop relationships between the Phoenix Center and community settings for programming, for fundraising efforts. Also, it's an opportunity to develop programming between the Phoenix Center and Seton Hall University, where I work. Most currently, we're actually building a transition program that's interprofessional and very exciting.
So Natalie, tell me a little bit about how the Phoenix Center spreads autism awareness or drives that awareness.
Absolutely. So actually, 2 months ago was Autism Awareness Month, and on April 2nd, it was called Light Up Blue for Autism, and the faculty there, the staff, as well as the students, they all wore blue in support of Autism Awareness Month, which was wonderful. They lit up the lights outside their school blue for a month. Also, they have a sister association called Partners in Caring, and they had custom t-shirts made in support of autism awareness, and they actually were made by one of the students there, their sibling, who's very talented, and the students there and the staff wore it. And actually Jim Rusamano from Nutley Kia, he also purchased those for his staff, and they wore it in support. They also developed a couple of fundraisers for autism. One was at Somos Restaurant in North Arlington to raise money for children and adolescents with autism. So, you know, those were just some of the things during April, but there are ongoing efforts throughout the year to support that population.
It sounds like the Phoenix Center is doing some amazing events and happenings to raise awareness. So tell us a little bit about how somebody can get involved.
Absolutely. Well, like myself, they're always looking for people to join the board of directors and support their mission. They're also looking for volunteers to help with some of their fundraising efforts. So for example, they had a casino night where individuals from Investors Bank came and they volunteered and helped with setup and preparation for the event, actually. The other thing is because they are a not-for-profit organization, they rely on the community for support. So anyone who's interested in learning more about the Phoenix Center can go to their website. There's a spot on there where they can donate, and the website is www.thephoenixcenternj.org/donate-now/.
So Natalie, tell us a little bit about the programs that the Phoenix Center offers.
Absolutely. So they are a very unique program that has a wealth of resources. They actually have a dedicated, specialized curriculum team, which goes into the classroom and gets to know each student's individual needs. And then they develop interactive, multisensory, functional, and motivating activities that help to support each child and each adolescent's academic and life skills while considering their challenges in motor development, communication, cognitive development, social emotional skills, and sensory issues. Also, they have a variety of programs there. So they have structured behavioral training programs such as Applied Behavioral Analysis, ABA. They also have naturalistic programming, which involves following the child's lead. That's called DIR floor time. So that's developmental individual difference relationship-based programming. They have community-based instruction, life skills training, vocational training, and transition programs throughout the facility and throughout the time that the individuals are there. They also have a lot of social events that they have planned for individuals and their families, and it gives the students of the Phoenix Center the opportunity to practice the skills that they're learning in the school in everyday environments to generalize those skills. And it's also a wonderful opportunity for families to network and socialize with each other. What I really like about the Phoenix Center is the level of differentiated instruction that they have for individuals with autism. So no matter what level they're at, they really focus the programming on helping the individuals to be functional members of society where they can live and they can work. And that's extremely important. And one of the important things also about the programs there is they begin the life skills training and the vocational training from very early on to prepare the individuals at that school for life after school. So how to be those functional members of society where they can live and they can work. The other thing is they have a very close partnership with the families, which is extremely important. So what they do is they work with the families to learn out what the families' needs are and also what the career interests are, the academic needs, and the interests of the students themselves, and they can plan according to that. The other piece is they provide training to the families to help the families to support the in-class goals they're working on, as well as the community-based goals.
So Natalie, there's a lot of great things that the Phoenix Center is doing and a lot of great programs that they're offering. So where can somebody who has interest in learning more about those programs, where can they go?
First and foremost, before I provide some resources to you, I want to explain a little bit about the programs that are out there. So firstly, you're going to find a variety of programs in terms of communication approach. Some of them will focus on total communication, so all means of communication, while others will look at what is the most functional means for the individual who is on the spectrum. So that could be using augmentative and alternative communication. It could mean using sign language. It could mean using their voice. So that's important. But the programs that are out there are very individualized to the needs of those that are on the spectrum. So programming caters to the strengths as well as the areas of challenge that the individuals are having, and will focus on providing interactive, multisensory programming that's really focusing on the individual beyond the school years. So that's what the most common goal is, to prepare individuals who are on the spectrum to be successful in the community once they are done with school. So that's really important to know that that's the trend in terms of programming for individuals on the spectrum across the state. In terms of finding resources, there are actually, there's a really wonderful community group called the Friendship Circle, and it's a great networking opportunity for parents to meet each other who all have children or adolescents on the spectrum. So it's a great support network, and they have wonderful events throughout the year for individuals with autism and their families to meet together. So that's a wonderful thing. There's also something called Fight for Autism, which is a group that looks to raise money to provide programming, equipment, and resources to families of children who are on the spectrum. In terms of websites that families can go to find out information on the characteristics of autism, as well as school programs, ABA programs, community instruction, parent support groups, and those types of resources. There are 3 different websites. One is Autism Speaks, one is Autism New Jersey, and the other one is autism.org. The other place that families can go is the website for the New Jersey Speech Language Hearing Association. That's www.njsha.org. And there's a wealth of resources about autism, and also there are dedicated people that can answer any questions that families have.
So Natalie, tell me, what are some of the red flags that parents can look out for?
Well, I think it's very important to understand that the autism spectrum is a spectrum. So there are a wide range in terms of skills and levels of autism. So it's important to understand that. But commonly, there are 3 major areas which are often affected for children on the spectrum. Those include play skills, communication skills, and social emotional skills. Often children on the spectrum will also have sensory issues as well. So in terms of the play, communication, and social issues, some of the common things that children may have difficulty with are their behavior. They might have restrictive or repetitive play skills. They have difficulty using language for a variety of functions, especially during social exchanges. They may have trouble comprehending information and may have echolalia. So if somebody asks them a question, instead of answering the question, they may repeat back that question. Difficulty maintaining eye contact, or difficulty engaging in social exchanges. So if a family suspects these particular issues, it's always best to err on the side of caution, and they can go to see a neurodevelopmental pediatrician, who is the one who actually diagnoses if a child is on the autism spectrum. But the first step really is for them to go to their pediatrician and let them know their concerns. And if the pediatrician feels that it's necessary, they will then refer them to that neurodevelopmental pediatrician. The other thing is if a child is under the age of 3 and the parent suspects this, they can contact the New Jersey Early Intervention System, which has great resources, and they can have a team come out and actually evaluate the child to determine if there are any communication, motor difficulties, cognitive issues, social, emotional, or self-help deficits.
Okay, thank you so much, Natalie. I really appreciate your time and all of your great information. Thank you so much for joining us and answering all of my questions.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak today.